Well, I found myself with an opportunity to make a video, and I'm not really sure I've got anything to talk about. Well, that's not true at all. I've always got something to talk about. Let's talk about how I come up with working out what songs I'm going to arrange. Like I'm working on one now, I'll show you in a moment. Basically, I can't just listen to music. Every time I hear a song on the radio or something, I analyse it to see, would that work as fingerstyle? Could I do something with that? And sometimes I hear a song and sometimes I think, that would work really great. And then fortunately I forget about it. Otherwise I would have hundreds of songs that I'm working on all at the same time. But I did hear one the other day or the other week on the radio, and really struck me. Funky Town, an old lip sync song. It's disco. Love disco. I love the bass lines in disco. Maybe that's one of the things that attracts me to fingerstyle is that sort of disco-y bass line, that amazing sound that they got. That I don't know, it's sort of very fashionable, and everyone hated it, and it's sort of, I don't know, it still hangs around. I still hear songs these days that still have a sort of fundamental disco beat. And so the bass line in the middle always ends up being quite tricky to do on as fingerstyle. But our mate Nardo, his ability to do the thumbing a bass line is remarkable. My bass lines sound very simple, because I'm spending most of my brain CPU time working out what I'm going to do in the melody. The sort of the mid fill part of it. So if you have your main melody that you're picking out, and you sort of maybe just doing little arpeggios or little flicks in the middle, and then your bass line. I don't get anything very complicated. Maybe the root note for the chord, and then maybe like the some notes in between, but nothing like he does. He can think about his melody and his bass line at the same time. I'm still stuck just in the melody, and if I get anything in the bass line, then I'm kind of happy. Anyway, I digress. In fact, before I talk about Funky Town, it's just reminded me of one. Let me just bring it up. I started working on it at least 5 years ago. Loved it. Another disco one, you'll recognise it. Worked out something, never did anything with it. See if you pick it. and so on. Rolling Stones Miss You, of course. One of these days I'm going to do something with that. The problem with the Rolling Stones songs is they're all very repetitive. Like the melody is, it's in the words. Rolling Stones songs are in the words. I mean, they've got good riffs and got great sound and all that sort of stuff, but it's actually really simple and really repetitive. So yeah, I'd have to work out something interesting to do there. Funky Town, drop D. What I did for this is, because it's got a just octaves. But in the drop D, I can get the D there, and the reason why is because I wanted to be able to do. I want in the main verse. It's I want to be able to go a lot of D's there, D D D. Now, This one here, this is another great example of thumb independence, and it really racked my brain to get this one. I'll put the tab up here somewhere, but this is how it goes. So it's another 8 bars. It'll just do your head in. It's not even the Travis picking. Well, that would be pretty Boris Travis. It's just, I'm still struggle to work out, to get the fingers coordinating, so I'm always on the alternating the bass line. If you do try this, what I found is I need to give my brain a hook into certain parts of it to keep me going. So doing this bit here, that's pretty easy, but it's those 2 notes. So you've gone, and then because they're the 2 notes together on your D string and A string, that kind of I've got that locked into my brain, so I remember that. But then you've gone this is the bit that stuffs me out. Because you're moving around in your melody, I end up missing one of the bass notes. But again, I remind myself that when I get to that note there, I've got to be on the bass on the E string. And that helps me to remember, because you want to be able to just play it without even thinking. Yeah, see there? I swapped the bass notes. So then the verse was interesting. What I tried to do there, I wanted to keep the melody on the D, because fortunately there's it's F sharp, E, D, rather than where would that be? I'll just go to the open string. So struggle with it. I haven't got a hook into my brain to remind me how to keep the bass alternating on that one. So you can just fudge it, sort of, and then just sort of break into it. No, don't. Try and pick it. Then into a key change or chord change. Then sort of octave again. Still got a bit of work to go with that one. Not sure where I'm going to get the time. I haven't worked out the tabs as of not sure what I'm going to do there. I'll work out something.